Welcome to Today in Prophecy Daily News. In 15 minutes or less, news with the Bible as perspective. Hey, before we get going, just a quick reminder. We have our conference coming up a week from Saturday, August 9th in Santa Barbara, California, and I'm going to be staying over for Sunday, August 10th, doing the Sunday morning services. You can register online at hopeforourtimes.com. And then also this Sunday, August 3, in the evening, I will be at 412 Church in Temecula, going to be talking about Israel and exposing Israel's accusers. And David Towell's also going to be my guest. It's going to be like a mini prophecy conference, and it's going to begin right at 5 p.m. It'll go till about 7 or 7:30, and really so much to talk about. Looking forward to equipping y'all. So if you're in Southern California, it is going to be an outstanding night. We're expecting a lot of pushback, but that's all right because we got to get the truth out there. So hope you can join us in person. If you're unable to be in person, it will be online, live streamed also, 5 p.m. Pacific time. So check out these events and others at hopeforourtimes.com at the events page. Well, let's get rolling. Sam Altman from OpenAI pitches eyeball scanning world ID to bankers. Folks, this is a most fascinating bit of information. You know, Sam Altman, this isn't the first time he's done something like this, but he's now taken another route. Listen to this. Shut out by privacy regulators skeptical of his iris scanning ID scheme, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman is taking a different route. He's now turning to the financial sector to pitch World ID, a digital identity platform built on the premise that artificial intelligence has made it impossible to tell humans from machines. It's a solution aimed at solving a problem AI itself has created. So there you have it. AI's created the problem. Now we got to solve this problem. Okay, this is key. Listen to what the rest of this says, and then we'll connect it with the Bible. During a U.S. Federal Reserve conference focused on banking regulation, Altman framed his biometric identity project as essential for navigating a world where digital fraud is growing. He argued that most authentication systems have already been rendered ineffective. AI has fully defeated most of the ways that people authenticate. All of these fancy take a selfie, wave, or do your voice or whatever, Altman said. He added, I am very nervous that we have a significant impending fraud crisis. Altman's proposed remedy, of course, is World ID, a global digital identity system that uses iris scans to verify individuals and stores this verification through blockchain infrastructure. The platform is marketed as a way to combat AI-enabled deception, particularly in financial systems that still rely on older biometric methods. A thing that terrifies me, he said, is apparently there are some financial institutions that will accept the voice print as authentication. That is a crazy thing to still be doing, like AI has fully defeated that. And then this article says this very fascinating. Think of this. This vision of Sam Altman fits squarely within Silicon Valley's familiar playbook. Promote disruptive technology with fervor, like AI, right? And tell everybody you need to be afraid, all right? Normalize the disruption and say this is the way it is, and then offer your own product as the only viable safeguard. In other words, you create the problem, and then you say, this is the way it is. We're going to just have these massive problems all the time. Wait a minute, I have the solution. Listen, this is the enemy's playbook, but this is how things are. You think of the Hegelian dialectic. What do? You have the two extremes, and you got to get this side over to this side. So what do? You have an extreme problem, and you've got the solution, whatever it is, and your intention isn't to get this side all the way over to here. It's just to get them to here. People will surrender their freedoms and everything else, and they'll say, oh, this is a problem over here, and then you meet them halfway. So Sam Altman, he says, okay, we got to be afraid, be very, very afraid. I have the solution. Let me give you a quick illustration on how the Hegelian dialectic works. Let's say you're going to go buy a new car. And you go to the car dealer and you see the sticker. and you're shocked at the price, hence the term sticker shock. You see it and it says $60,000 for the car, and you're thinking in your mind, there's no way I'm paying $60,000 for the car. The salesman comes out and meets you and says, you like this car? There's no way I'm paying. That's just outrageous. Da, 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 da. And then they start negotiating with you. Well, what would you pay for the car? You know, whatever. And their intention was never to get the 60 grand. If you want to pay it, then you're a sucker, right? Their intention is to just get you to the place of negotiating to get you to the $55,000. That's what they really wanted. All of a sudden, you're not paying 60, you're paying 55, and you're thinking, man, I got a good deal. This is what's happening. It's this Hegelian dialectic. You got the problem. Oh, be very, very, very afraid. This is really bad. Oh, wait a minute. We have the solution. Oh, you're going to like our solution. Remember, Proverbs chapter 29, the fear of man is a trap. It's a trap. But it's the Lord who keeps us safe. So we got to stay focused on the Word. But as we look at this with World ID and iris scan, you got to think of it in the understanding of what the Bible does tell us. The Bible does teach that this mark of the beast is going to come, where no one can buy or sell unless they receive the mark of the beast and worship him or his image. And so the technology is here to be able to do this, is getting people to that place of a willingness to say, yes, that is a great solution. At the same time, this person, this being, he's going to rise to the scene. He's going to be promoted. The Bible calls him the beast, commonly referred to as Antichrist. And we're all being moved along. The whole globe is being moved along to the place of be very, very, very afraid of what is here. We need a solution to this problem. I know I'm going to have my eye scan. Now we are being moved along step by step to the point where the Bible tells us they'll be on the right hand or forehead, this ID that's coming. I mean, the eye is kind of forehead already, right? So you look at this and go, that is what is happening. To the point where people will surrender their freedoms. This is going to protect us from it. And you look at all of the other dynamics of everything else that is going on in the world. The lawlessness that's abounding, the threat of economic catastrophe, by the way, which will likely be the thing that's going to cause the world to want to implement central bank digital currencies. Again, it's the fear. Everything's going down. We need a solution. And then in all of this, there's going to be a man that's going to rise up and say, I've got the solution to all of these different dynamics that are taking place right now. And but we are being moved along to that place. Create the problem, create the fear, make the fear normal. Like, we got this problem. People are getting murdered all the time. Homelessness is everywhere. Banks are failing. Wars and rumors of wars. ID is being stolen. People group are rising up against people group. Somebody's going to come along with the solution. By the way, don't forget again, we will be in Santa Barbara coming up on August 9th, a week from this Saturday. My guests are going to be Pastor Brandon Holthouse, James Cadiz, David Tal, James Panafino is going to be doing video presentation from New York, and myself. It'll be all day Saturday, August 9th, and then I also am going to stay over Sunday for all of the Sunday services there, but you do need to register for the Prophecy Conference. So you can do that at hopeforourtimes.com at the events page. All right, moving on from here, let's move over to Israel, because as we look at the things Sam Altman is talking about, look at technology. This iris scan, this eye scan, World ID, it just smacks of what the Bible is telling us. There's two things that I believe are very significant when it comes to wondering about the days we live in and when all of the things prophetically are going to come together as they converge, and then the tribulation is going to begin. It's technology and what is going on in the nation of Israel. Israel, and specifically Jerusalem, is the epicenter, but the world's attention is on what is happening in the land of Israel. And Russia and Ukraine, that stuff's still going on. Turkey is a huge threat to Israel. By the way, that's significant, but the world's attention is on Israel itself. The time is coming when it will specifically be on Jerusalem. Right now, it's what to do with the Jewish problem, what to do with the Israel problem. That's the way the world is looking at this. Colonel Hezi Nehama out of Israel says the war in Gaza can be won in a month. He also argues that Hezbollah's weakened posture in the north makes it possible for Israel to shift forces southward, thereby enabling a full-scale ground operation in Gaza. After nearly 2 years of war, the colonel has emerged as one of the most vocal critics of the IDF's current strategy against Hamas, sharply condemning what he sees as stagnation on the ground in Gaza. With decades of experience in IDF operations, his analysis carries both authority and frustration. So he's saying, hey, this whole war can be done in a month. It just needs to be done the right way. Right now, it's not being executed correctly. It's just become the stagnant problem where the world is starting to get all ticked off and saying, Israel, you are the problem. U.S. envoy, next article out of All Israel News. Steve Witkoff to arrive in Israel to address the Gaza situation. Listen, everybody's talking about Gaza, all the lies that are out there about the food not being distributed when it's actually the UN who's been holding that back. Already talked about that. But then we go to the next article. Listen to this out of Israel Sheva. Israel National News, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Egypt call on Hamas to disarm and leave Gaza. I briefly touched on this yesterday, but it says 17 nations agree on statement calling for Hamas to lay down its arms and end its rule in Gaza during UN conference, calling for the creation of a Palestinian state. Friends, as we look at all of these different dynamics, we've got to understand the direction everything is going, right? 17, get that again, 17 nations have signed a statement calling for Hamas to disarm and end its rulership over the Gaza Strip. People are fed up with it. Now you have the Arab nations that are coming against Hamas saying, no, we are done with this. We see a weakened Iran. We see what Israel has done to Hezbollah. We see the geopolitical situation changing. And I'm telling you, one way or another, both Gaza and both Judea and Samaria have to get to an area of peace. Everything's marching that direction. The world's pressure against Israel is incredible, but it's going to get to a place of peace because in Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 11, again, the Bible tells us that Israel will be dwelling in peace and safety with neither bars nor gates. So everything's going to go that direction before the Ezekiel 38 battle takes place. But what's it going to be? Is it going to be a peace plan? Is Israel going to be the victorious one in Gaza? I personally believe Israel could be victorious in the area of Gaza, just as the colonel has said. We can finish the Gaza problem. But after Gaza is done, then what happens? We know the prophecies of Gaza that are going to be fulfilled during the millennial kingdom after Jesus comes back, where the tribe of Judah, the area of Gaza will be used as pasture land for the tribe of Judah. So we get that during the millennial kingdom, but what in the world's going to happen now is going to go to a place of peace. Israel is going to get to a place of laying down their weapons and saying, we have finally arrived at a time where there is a huge continuing increase of anti-Semitism here in the United States, over in Europe, throughout the world, where people are saying, we don't want the Jews in our land. What's going to happen? Again, just like it is, as we saw with the World ID, with iris scans, we're going to solve the problems. The world's pressure against Israel is going to continue to increase, saying, Israel, you are the problem. We have a Jewish problem. We have an Israel problem. We have a Jerusalem problem. And the pressure against Israel is going to increase substantially to the point where it's just a matter of time where Israel's going to say, okay, what do we need to do? We will do whatever it takes. Get rid of the anti-Semitism. Get rid of the attacks that constantly come against us. The propaganda against us is horrific. Listen, that time is coming. A man's going to come on the scene with an answer to these things. But before that happens, Israel will go to the place of peace and safety of Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 11. I believe we have a couple of peace plans that are coming up. The Ezekiel 38 one is going to happen first. God bless you guys, and see you tomorrow.